Now available in paperback and e-readers, E-Steam Cancel Vacation. Hell's aspiring angel takes on a social justice, social media mob looking to cancel her in this all-new E-Steam series adventure. Get E-Steam Cancel Vacation in paperback and e-readers today. Some people only want to be told what they want to hear. Now, individuals like this basically want to go out here and create an echo chamber where they only want to hear good things, and they only want to hear things that make their world smooth. Now, these individuals who want to be told what they want to hear basically want to live in what I call a rose-colored reality, and in that rose-colored reality, they want their world smooth, where they don't want to deal with any sort of problems, conflicts, or obstacles that are a part of life. Now, in order to avoid all of the conflicts of life, these people who want to be told what they want to hear, what they have adopted is what I call selective hearing. Now, selective hearing is a point I made in one of my books, Why 70% of Black Women Are Single, and a person who has selective hearing basically is deaf to anything that they go out here and disagree with. And many of these people do this as a defense mechanism in order to protect themselves from being criticized or having to deal with conflict. And what they don't know is that if people are only telling you what you want to hear, what you're doing is living in a world that's a lie. Now, in order to live in the real world, somebody has to go out here and tell you the truth. And sometimes the truth isn't what we want to hear, but we sometimes have to hear these truths in order to go out here and make decisions that will allow us to survive. Unfortunately, those who want to be told what they want to hear, these people possibly have heard a lot of trauma in their past, and because they have suffered all of this trauma, they have turned themselves away from hearing any sort of thing that is negative. Now, there are others who also have this whole telling them what they want to hear, selective hearing, because they have been spoiled by individuals in their families or in their lives, and they have been put into, again, another echo chamber where they're used to just hearing whatever they want. And these are individuals who are enabled, like many of the wealthy, they are enabled by others who want to foster codependent relationships with them. And as they foster this codependent relationship with them, where they attach an emotional hose to that individual to get whatever they want out of them, what they do is go out here looking to pacify that individual, maintaining power over their information in order to continue getting resources from those individuals. That is what happens with many of the wealthy out here. They basically want to be told what they want to hear by these individuals who work for them. And because these individuals believe that they have power because of the money that they have, they don't want to hear any sort of thing that they disagree with. Now, this also happens among poor people like black women in churches. As the pastor is out here, the pastor is the one who's supposed to be disseminating the gospel to them, but because the pastor wants to go out here and continue receiving money from those black women, what he does is, instead of telling them the gospel and talking about parts of the Bible where he talks about the role of the woman submitting to the man as a helpmeet in God's order, or talking about wives submitting to their husbands, what the pastor does is instead tell the women what they want to hear, because this is how he maintains the codependent relationship with them, where he can go out here and continue getting money from them by stimulating their emotions. And as he stimulates their emotions inside of the church, he tells them what they want to hear as related to blessings and prosperity, but does not teach them how to apply the gospel to their lives. And again, as he tells them what they want to hear, it makes the women feel good, and it makes them feel good to the point where they want to go out here and continue giving him their money in tithes and offerings, but those women never really grow as related to their relationship with Christ. And this is just one example of what happens when people tell you what you want to hear. When people tell you what you want to hear, what they do is go out here and put you in an echo chamber where all you're hearing, is what makes you feel good. And because what you're hearing is making you feel good, you are sitting there in a state of euphoria, not really understanding that you're stagnating as a person. And you're stagnating as a person because as you maintain these codependent relationships with people, you wind up in a situation where you never really make the efforts to make the changes in your life that will help you improve. Because in order for a person to improve, they have to have an objective mind, and they have to have an objective mind where they can hear other people who are saying things that they may disagree with. Because sometimes when people are presenting you with things that you disagree with, what they're doing is trying to help you. And yes, this may not be something you want to hear, but it is a truth presented to you by someone who wants to see you improve and wants to see you do better. Unfortunately, because of the trauma these individuals have suffered in the past, they don't want to go out here and hear any truth that disagrees with the flow of their smooth world. And because they don't want to hear anything that does not make their world smooth, what happens is these individuals wind up getting emotional and defensive, and what they do is sometimes even become physical as related to hearing these talking points. And what happens is these individuals, because they become loud, argumentative, and hostile, nobody can really tell these people the truth about things that could actually help them. Now, in many cases, when it comes to individuals who become like this, they become to the point where people can only tell them what they want to hear. And the whole thing is, if you're told what you want to hear, sadly, you are living a lie, and living a lie where nobody can bring you the truth, and that can be a very dangerous situation you can become in, because what happens is with people who are told what they want to hear is they get surrounded by a bunch of predators. And as they get surrounded by all of these predators, what these predators do is go out here and look to take advantage of someone. Because they know in order to get whatever economic, social, and even sexual resources from that person, all they have to do is say the things that they want to hear. And in some cases, because people have selective hearing, what they will do is go out here and actively use buzzwords and use those buzzwords to trigger a person's emotions. And as they use those buzzwords to trigger a person's emotions, what they will do is manipulate that person through their emotions by using these buzzwords to get a reaction out of someone. And again, that is all about how they foster this codependent relationship with people, because all they want to do is be told what they want to hear. All they want to be told is what makes them feel good. All they want to be told is what makes them so-called happy. But what they can't see is that this person is basically looking to go out here and create a rose-colored reality that keeps them in that echo chamber, in that virtual space, and this person never learns how to deal with reality. And when reality actually comes and they have to confront it, these people are not equipped to go out here and deal with reality. And because they're not equipped to deal with reality, that's when this person winds up falling completely apart. And they wind up falling completely apart because they have not built up a discipline or resolve to deal with reality. And because they don't know how to deal with reality, they want to, in some cases, either lash out at the world by looking to destroy the real world around them, or they want to go out here and they want to take their own lives because they cannot deal or cope with this thing we call reality. And again, what's really scary about people who want to be told what they want to hear is again, you try to sit down and reason with them, but there's no real reasoning with them because everything is feelings. And if everything is feelings, it's a very scary place because if everything is feelings, then there's no real way for you to cope with this thing we call reality. Because in the real world, it's not about your feelings. It is what it is. The truth is the truth. And unfortunately, those who get told what they want to hear, what they do is buy into these lies, and they buy into the lie to the point where they believe it's the truth. And when the actual truth comes, they cannot bear to deal with the actual truth. And that is the scariest part about individuals who are out here being told what they want to hear. When individuals are told what they want to hear, people can't really bring you any sort of facts that can help you. People can't really reason with you because everything is your feelings. People can't go out here and let you know about danger because you want to feel good, but you can't really see that something's happening that's going to come that's not going to make you feel good. Again, these individuals can't see danger, and they can't see the danger because everything is about their feelings. And they go out here, and these are individuals who will be surrounded by a bunch of predators, and they can't see the danger because they are being pacified and medicated by the predator who is preying on them, and they can't really see the reality of the world going on around them. So this is the clear and present danger of being told what you want to hear. People who are told what they want to hear, they are just, again, in a bubble, and what happens is they just wind up crashing to the ground when that bubble winds up popping. That's the thing that happens to those who get told what they want to hear. They wind up crashing to the ground and never really being able to recover or adapt because they've been in that bubble for so long that all they know is what's in the bubble, and they don't know what's going on in reality. So it's a really bad thing to be told what you want to hear, because people tell you what you want to hear in most cases because there's something they want to get out of you, like the rich man and the rich woman, or the person who's in the church with the predatory pastor. These are people who don't really know about their own power, and they don't really know about their power because people are taking away their power. Now they're thinking, oh, like in the case of rich guys, the money means I have power, but you don't have power over information, and this person is using that power over information to leverage over you by going out here and looking to soothe your ego and tell you what you want to hear so that you don't have to deal with the realities of life, like people saying no to you, people disagreeing with you. And again, that's a bad place to be because sometimes you need to hear the other side in order to get some perspective. Sometimes you need to hear the other person who you're disagreeing with in order to get perspective on life. Sometimes you need to hear from people who are presenting you with a counterpoint, because the counterpoint can give you some balance and give you an objective picture of a situation. Sometimes you need to hear things that you don't want to hear, because sometimes hearing something you don't want to hear can be the difference between life and death. That is something that people who want to be told what they want to hear don't understand. They don't understand that people who tell you something you don't want to hear are not doing this to hurt you. No, they are doing this to help you, and they're doing it to help you because they care about you, and they don't want to see you go out in an ignominious fashion. They don't want to see you get humiliated or you get embarrassed. This is the reason why somebody's looking to tell you the truth, because they don't want to see you be made to look like a fool. So a lot of times, people who want to be told what they want to hear, they'll shout down someone who is looking to try to tell them the truth, and they'll shout them down because they believe that this person is one disrupting their smooth world and their rose-colored echo chamber reality, and they're also believing that this person is somebody who is an enemy, when in actuality what's happening here is somebody's presenting you with objective facts, and as they present you with objective facts, what they're doing is looking to present you with information so that you can go out here and learn something that will help you keep from winding up in a bad place. Now, again, it's important for people to be objective and hear information that they don't want to hear, because sometimes when people are presenting you with facts, again, it's because they care about you and don't want to see you go out the game, and they also are looking to go out here and help you gain a better perspective. But these people, again, because they're caught up in their feelings, you can't really talk to them. And again, if people can't really reason with you, then they have to go out here and leave you alone. And in some cases, this person drives people away. And what happens is that person winds up in a bad place because of feelings, and those feelings steering them to a place where everybody saw where they were going to be a couple of miles away. I mean, this is what happens to people, again, when they get caught up in their emotions and get polarized. And this is something that I've even seen groups of people get caught up in, like with Comicsgate, where people were getting polarized. That's related to the woke narratives and being told, oh, this is woke, this is not woke, when it's like you're not hearing reality as related to the entire Comicsgate business. Or in the case of even nations like America, where we've got people polarized on the left and the right, this is a very dangerous place to be in, because if you're only hearing what you want to hear, and you only hear what you want to hear, your hearing is selective, where you're just listening to certain buzzwords and not listening to the whole message. What happens is you wind up in a place where you don't get all the information, and that can put you in a place where you're vulnerable to be taken advantage of by predators, and you're vulnerable to being exploited by these predators. Moreover, because you're not getting clear, objective information, you are leaving yourself open to being invaded by predators. Again, this is not the place you want to be, where people tell you what you want to hear, because people who are told what they want to hear are people who, again, they're in a vacuum and they're in a bubble. And sadly, these are people who are not ready to deal with reality. They're not ready to go out here and take and confront reality and accept reality. Whereas a person who is objective, they can sit there and say, this is what's happening right now, this is real, and the whole thing is, I may not like hearing these truths, but I'd rather accept this truth and be able to move on, because if I know the truth and I know where I stand, I can set a direction for where I want to go. Whereas the person who is in the echo chamber or the bubble, they are floating inside of this space, and they're only hearing the things that make them feel good. But when the echo chamber opens up and they have to deal with reality, and the bubble winds up popping and they wind up crashing to the ground, these people are incapable of being able to take care of themselves. They're unable to cope with reality, and as their senses get overwhelmed by reality, these people cannot function at all. And instead of them being able to adapt to what is actually happening, what they want to do is explode in a rage at people for telling them what they wanted to hear, and they want to destroy the world around them. So it's just better to live in reality, accept what is, and objectively take whatever is given to you, good or bad, because it's better to hear the truth than live in the lie of the place where people are told what they want to hear, because the people, while they're told what they want to hear, are happy in the short term. They wind up miserable in the long term, whereas the person who lives in reality, they are at peace because they know the truth is the truth. So it's just better to go out here and be told the truth than told what you want to hear. Now, if you want to pick up some of my positive black fiction on the SJS Direct imprint, like the ISIS series, the Esteem series, the John Haynes series, and the books of the Spinsterella trilogy, and my vampire novel Eternal Night, and my black sorority novel The Thetas, you can find all those books on Amazon.com, along with my men's issues books. You can find all those books on Amazon.com in paperback and Kindle format. You can also find them in other online digital booksellers like Smashwords, the iBookstore, and Google Play. And you can also pick up those books at other online paperback booksellers like Barnes & Noble, Walmart, and Target. And if you want to see me make more videos like this, you can send a donation to my Patreon, my PayPal, or my Cash App by clicking the links in the description box. That's all I have to say for this video. You can comment, rate, and subscribe. Now available in paperback and Kindle Unlimited, Isis, All That Glitters. The goddess next door takes on a bikini-clad bank robber in this action-packed, all-new Isis series adventure. Get Isis, All That Glitters in paperback and Kindle Unlimited today. Support Black-owned and Black-operated digital broadcast media. www.niceradionetwork.com. Nice Radio Network, broadcasting 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.